shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way, boy. Tell them get the fuck off the beach, boy. I'm in the field with the cleats. Doing all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat, boy. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Beach. Then them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. On my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. You niggas weak, they be turkey. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'ma hit his ass with his bike. And I come through 300 strong, 144 lead night. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the hype. Say all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, we ain't make his ass out the lead. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my bitch, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold load, I'm like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's war time for peace. You think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on, that's cap shit.
I keep it on to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
The white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim this shit. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass nigga. Stop the ass. You gotta tell what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone boy, ANC, stop it, ANC. Prophets about to get serious. Boy, when they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, what the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. You cashed out on your blood. You traded you in and bought a new bitch. Actually, the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed me up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is going together. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the skull never settle. Yeah, the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Go ahead, you stop it, ass, you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. You know what I'm saying? They say God sold up the world. God sold up the world and all that. You stop it, ass, you the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all don't pray on our knees, nigga. Stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass, stop it, ass, you. Oh, I'm gonna step outside of the show.
to you every Sunday for 30 years. But that's what the church is for, lie. That's why it exists to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it. Ass shit. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees. Nigga gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. A rebel
still go to work for the colony, bring it back to the anthill. Plus everything I drop heavy as an anvil. Show you how to stand like a man in this damn field. I know you feel me, nigga. Fucking quality, it gotta be one man win, and the rest lose. Wave devastator, I'm calculating my next move. You became a real nigga, seek refuge. Body shots for cause, that'll get you bruised. My niggas whole rank, but check your little attitude. I came to fuck up your mood on your little holiday like I'm Mr. Scrooge. Resurrected from the grave, walking from the fall. Bitches in my eyes, gripping the mic, screaming God bless the underdog, down by the left. And live by the protocol, walk by faith, not by sight. Ain't no forget struggles, like that's how a war is it. Don't get born into a world that never left you. I will endure, election will be sure, correction will be swift, no Will Smith, but I am left. What else would you call the killer of deception? A leader got soldiers on post in every direction. All soul like a German shepherd, young and the restless, my honor like a clarinet. I know you feel me, nigga.
Purchase your tracks today.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under Commanding General Yohana. This is Isupk, Killeen, Texas. And to my immediate right is a priest and prophet, you know what I'm saying, Kahangabar, you understand? And in the house, we also have the mighty priest, Aban Zayan, you understand? And I'm priest and officer Tapazar. This is the weekly law class, Isupk, Killeen, Texas, you understand? If you in the Coppers Cove, Waco, Texas, you understand? Jarrell, you know, any of the Central Texas area between Dallas and Austin, you understand? That's our zone. That's the territory that we take for Commander General Yohana and for Christ and the Most High. You understand? If you want to learn more about your culture, your heritage, your identity, you know what I'm saying, as a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you know what I'm saying, tune into the classes, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and on Facebook, you understand, tap in, send a request for Isupk, Killeen, Texas, you know what I mean, and we're going to go ahead and, you know what I mean, get this class started, go ahead and clap it up. You know, today's subject matter, you know what I'm saying, as always, you know, we dealing with the laws of the Most High, you understand, and you know, at the foundation, we know that the laws that were given to the Israelites, who are the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians today, you know what I'm saying, living in, you know what I'm saying, this hell called America, South America, you understand, North America, and scattered across the 4 corners, you know what I'm saying, the 12 tribes. The laws were given to our people to make us holy. You understand? And we know, and what we reiterate every single week is that to be holy means to be separate. You understand? And you know, part of being separate, man, you know what I'm saying, is being separate in culture. You understand? And it's also being separate in relationships, man. You understand? Now, we deal with the other nations in terms of business. You know what I'm saying? We don't break peace unless peace is broken. You understand? But the Most High set up a guideline and a culture for us as a people to function by, man. Because part of us, you know what I'm saying, yesterday was brotherhood class, man. You understand? But brotherhood and the law, they do go hand in hand, because in keeping the law, you keep brotherhood. In keeping brotherhood, you keep the law. You understand? And what brotherhood is, in a nutshell, is love, man. It's the love for your people, man. But love is war. You understand? Love is war, man. what you love, you're gonna fight for. You understand? And this is why the Lord had to enable and establish and set up the law, because the law directs the love. Right? The law directs where so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians direct their love. You understand? Right? Hey, Salakia, no sweat. Hey, you know what you do? Have them come out here and sit on the couch, man. That all three of them. You know what I'm saying? The law directs where your love goes. Okay? So, right now, I want us to go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7, you know what I'm saying, is a very, excuse me, y'all need to be quiet when y'all in here. Put that phone down. Y'all be quiet when y'all in here. Don't talk. Alright? Alright? You know what I'm saying? We having class right now. Y'all need to go ahead and respect that. Alright? You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? We gotta train up a child in the way they should go. You know what I'm saying? So when they older, they won't depart from it. You know what I mean? That's part of this work, man. You understand? Is teaching our children, you know what I'm saying, the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? So when they get older, they raise up the next generation, man. And that's part of the work that Commander General Yohana is given to these priests and prophets, man, right. to raise up black men to be fathers, you know what I'm saying, to the children, and raise them up the right way. In the same way that Commander General Yohana is raising us up, you know what I'm saying, passing that along to our families, man. You know what I mean? So that's what that's about right there. Okay? But we about to go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, man, because see, the milk, you know what I mean, what we're familiar with is that the Lord chose us, you know what I'm saying, and separated us from the other nations, man, because of who we were to him. But what we don't really tend to do is start at the beginning of the chapter and get what preceded him telling us how he felt about us, why we were a chosen people, why we were special and separate from everybody else, man. Because, you know, when you choose to have relationships outside of your race, you understand? You know, you're choosing to serve another God, man. You understand? The relationships that you have with your people is a direct reflection of your relationship with the Most High. And I'm talking to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. The Lord didn't, you know, a lot of people have the idea that God is all love. You know what I'm saying? That he created everybody and he loves everybody, man. But that's not what the scriptures say. You understand? The scriptures say that he created everybody. You know what I'm saying? We all come from Adam. But pardon me real quick. Judah, turn that phone off. Y'all listening to class, man. Put the phone down and listen to class. Turn that off. Okay? I don't want to hear that again. You understand? All right. Salakia, y'all. So, the scriptures let us know that the Lord cares about who you love. A lot of people say that love is love. You know what I'm saying? That you can't control who you love, man. But for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who we love is what determines whether we live or die. Whether we live under oppression or we command rulership over the earth, man. Where our love goes is a direct link to whether or not we're in slavery, you understand? Or we put those that hate us under subjection, man. There ain't no in-between, you understand? So people might say to themselves, man, you know, me wanting to choose to be with this person, man, I mean, God created them, God created me. We both bleed red. You know what I'm saying? Well, a dog bleeds red. A pig bleeds red. Are you going to develop a relationship with a dog and a pig? Now we know our so-called oppressor, he does that. Not just dogs and pigs, but sheep and goats and donkeys. You understand? But the Lord gave us a law. He gave us a law to separate us from everybody else, man. And we about to get into that, unless you want to speak on that, priest.
Nah, you got it, priest.
Don't sound like Christ. Deuteronomy 7 verse 1.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it.
To possess it. This is the Lord talking to Moses because he just delivered the Israelites out of bondage from some dirty Africans, man. You understand? From Hamites that had us in bondage and in slavery. The Lord just got done delivering the Israelites out of bondage, and now he's giving the Israelites rulership. But as he's telling them you're about to go into rulership, he's giving them the means by which for them to be able to maintain and secure that rulership, man. Because a lot of times, man, we want to be on top. We want to get in position, but we don't want to do what's required to maintain that position, man. Right. To maintain us being on top. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, man, people, they want to go right from A to Z, but they don't deal with what's in between, man. And you know, like they say, the devil's in the details. The demon is in whether or not you're gonna follow the instructions that was given to you, man. Right? Keep reading.
And have cast out many nations before thee.
Right.
The Hittites and the
Girgashites.
The Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Havites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
So look, the Lord is saying that at the time that the Israelites was coming up out of bondage, you understand that these nations at that point were in a mightier condition. You understand? They were stronger, organized. You know what I'm saying? They had their culture, and militarily they were in position. You understand? So, but the Lord let them know that even though that they had a greater military, even though they had an established culture, even though they had a lock on that particular land, that they were cast out before the Israelites. The Lord gave the Israelites victory over their enemies, man. Okay? Keep reading.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
No, he said, thou shalt give them hugs.
Thou shalt smite them.
No, you should embrace them and go to dinner with them and have a feast together.
Thou shalt smite them.
No, you should kiss them.
Thou shalt smite them.
The Lord said to smite. What does the word smite mean? You understand? What does the word smite mean? I'm sure somebody in the chat probably already posted it. The word smite means to kill.
That's right.
It means to put to death. The Lord gave the order to put these nations to death. Okay. The army of Israel was a invading army. Okay. The Lord was given this land, which would come to be known as the land of Israel. At the time, it was called the land of Canaan.
Right.
You understand? It was the Canaanites who inhabited this land at the time, and these are the different nations of Canaan that occupied the land at the time. It was an occupied territory. All right, but the Lord had already put out that the Israelites, His chosen people, were going to take that land over and establish their rulership in this territory. Okay, keep reading.
And utterly destroy them.
And utterly what?
Destroy them.
Okay, destroy them. The Lord didn't want man, woman, or child to remain of these nations in that land, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And thou shalt make no covenant with them.
No, you should set up contracts with them and work out a negotiation to live in harmony, to set up some type of government of equality.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Because let me explain something to y'all, man. You know, a covenant is a binding contract. It's a binding agreement.
Right.
Once you know, a lot of people, man, nowadays, you know what I'm saying, they break contracts, they break their word, you know what I'm saying? You know, like Scarface said, man, all I got is my word and my balls. You know what I'm saying? Salakia for the sisters in the room, you know what I mean, or anybody in the class. All I got is my word and my zeal. I put it like that. Okay? A man who don't have his word doesn't have anything, man. You understand? And when you come into a covenant and into an agreement, that's a binding agreement, man. That's not something that you could just, I mean, if you got any honor or integrity or respect, when you give your word, when you know, back in the day it was spitting in your hand and shaking hands, you know what I'm saying, for the native Indian tribes, for the tribe of Gad and Reuben, you know, it was slicing your hand to where it bleeds, and then you would grip hands and exchange blood. You know what I'm saying? That was what the native tribes, you know what I'm saying, the native Indian tribes would do to establish a covenant, an agreement. And the only thing that could break that covenant was death. You understand? And that's, you know, we know that our oppressor, you know what I'm saying, the devil that the Bible speaks of, he has no sense of what covenant is, man. You know, it's said that he made over 500 covenants and contracts and agreements with the native Indian and did not keep one of them. And we understand by the conditions of the native Indians on these reservations, you know, that the word of the white man means nothing.
Right.
You understand? But the God of Israel, man, the God of the Israelites, the children of Israel, he called us to be the rulers of the earth, man. The scriptures say that when the righteous are in authority, the earth rejoices. But it also says that because we are not in our position, the world is out of turn. Things are turned upside down. Why? Because nobody places any value on their word.
Right.
You understand? But here in the Isupk, under Command General Yohana, the priests and prophets, the men that he's raising up, we place stock in our word.
Right.
We place stock in orders that are given. You understand? When the word goes forth, we execute that word, man. We execute that order, man. You understand? Because you can't rule a kingdom, you can't rule a people if your word means nothing. This is why America is in chaos right now, because they'll write a law one day, and then 3 to 4 years later, they'll write a law that replaced that law and change it and put it back to where it was, man. You understand? We not Africans, man. But I remember a movie called Amistad, right? And they, you know, this particular slave boat, the slaves was able to free themselves, you know what I'm saying, in the lower decks, and they overcame the oppressors. They was able to kill and destroy the oppressors that had them in chains on the boat. And they sailed the boat all the way to the shores of North America. Okay, and they made it. And when they got there, they were tried by the court systems in America for murdering the sailors and the captain on the boat. So they were brought to court. And he was having a conversation, the one who led the revolt on the boat was having a conversation with, I believe the actor's name is Mcconaughey. He was a defense lawyer for these slaves, man, or for this particular slave, right? And the slave is telling him, he's like, look, man, you know, in the law it says that you can rebel if you're being stolen and being unreasonably oppressed. You can rebel. He was like, yeah, but that only applies to white men. He said, wait a minute, how can you have a law that only applies to y'all? We're all here. You know what I mean? The law says that if you're being kidnapped and taken, you could defend yourself. He was like, yeah, but that law is written for this. And he said, he got frustrated and was like, how can you live in this place where your laws mean nothing? They mean something over here, but mean nothing over here. How do y'all live like this, man? And we, up under the rulership of the devil, we've gotten so accustomed to his lies and his deception and his hypocrisy, we've become children of the devil. In terms of, like, you know, to see a white man get off for killing our brother or sister, it's like watching the sun come up, or the sun go down and the moon come up. It's a regular daily occurrence, man. You understand? And this is why the Lord has to take our so-called oppressor off of the throne, man, off of the seat of authority, because he has no integrity, man. His word means nothing. So here in the scriptures, he's telling the children of Israel, make no agreements, make no covenants with these people. But why? Because we're at war, man.
Right.
And when you're at war and you make a negotiation or an agreement, what does that do? It stops the warfare. You understand? The scriptures say that God is love. But Exodus 15:3 says that the Lord is a man of war. That is his name. That's letting you know that love is war. You understand? And that's why you have to be very careful. This is why the Lord outlined in the law who we love, who we should love, and who we should not love, man. Yes, God is love. He's definitely love, but his love is warfare, man. You understand? And for us as a people to maintain rulership, we have to be very, very holy or very, very conscientious about who we give our love to, man. We have to stay in the guidelines and in the confines of the law. Keep reading.
Come. Nor slew mercy, nor show mercy unto them.
Right. That word mercy means compassion. It means that when you encounter these other nations, don't have no compassion on them, man. Don't say in your heart, oh man, that's just a 6-year-old boy right there. That's just a 3-year-old girl. The Lord was like, smite and destroy them all, killing men, women, and children. This is the order that the Lord gave to the children of Israel, man. Keep reading.
Come, verse 3. Neither shall thou make marriages with them.
No, you're supposed to go ahead and have glorious weddings and bring both tribes together, man.
Neither shall thou make marriages with them.
Let me explain something to you real quick, man. You understand? Because see, we as a people, man, we don't understand the nature of warfare. You know, there's more than one way to conquer a nation. You don't have to always conquer the nation at the end of the sword or at the end of a cannon or at the end of a rifle. You understand? The scriptures say that, you know, that talking about this man, right, this oppressor, that through peace he would destroy many. That's an odd thing to say, through peace. How do you use peace to destroy somebody? See, if somebody, for you parents out there, if somebody kidnapped your daughter or your son, or they killed your daughter or son, nothing, if you're a good parent, if you're a parent that loved your children, nothing would dissuade you or persuade you from seeking justice in the death of those that harmed your children, right? But we see that happen every day here in America for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The police murder our children, right? And what peace do we get from the death of our children? What happens to? Let me pull up this chat. What happens to calm down the flame of and cry of justice, man? What's the water they use to put out that fire? You know what I'm saying? Anybody in the room know that? What do they use to appease our anger, right? Because the scriptures say that oppression makes a wise man mad. How do you turn a mad man to a glad man?
If I could, it's either like two things. Like for me, if I come out top, it's either money, or giving like that police officer got arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like that he got arrested for killing George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? That's to shut us up. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them go down for the minute crime they done. But I don't know if I'm going on top of
Nah, you not off. Salaki, go ahead, please.
So, Salaki, if I may, you know, the way, you know, that blacks, Hispanics, and natives calm themselves down, you know, is by marching. You know what I'm saying? Every time, you know, one of us get killed, you know, their answer is to go marching in the street. You know what I'm saying? To beg this devil, you know, for some compassion. You know what I'm saying? Beg this devil for mercy. You understand? And that's how it's been, you know, for decades, you know what I'm saying? And
even centuries almost, man.
Damn right.
Not a century. What y'all bring out is heavy, man. You know, I'm gonna ask, cause you got some children in the room. Let me ask you kids, how do you stop a dog from barking? What do you do to stop a dog from barking? Huh? If a dog is behind a fence and he's barking and you want to get into the backyard and calm him down, what would you give to the dog? Huh? You would feed him. Yeah, you would feed him. What would you feed him?
Dog treats.
Dog treats, right? You would give him a treat, or maybe give him a bone, right?
Yes.
The scriptures say that our leaders are all dumb dogs. You know what I'm saying? They sleep, they don't bark. The way that you stop a dog from barking and put him to sleep is by feeding him, man. And that's exactly what happens, man. They feed us with promises of change and legislation. And like the mighty priest brought out, we march for that, right? We march for that. You walk the dog around the park and calm him down, right? Or like the priest said and the sister said in the chat, money, civil suits. You lose the life of your child, your daughter, right? Your princess or your young priest or prince, and they give you a check, man. They give you a check, man. You have these worthless leaders like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson Jr., Ben Crump. You understand that? Like vultures circling around a dead carcass, they circle and hover and wait for these incidents of injustice where our people are being murdered unarmed. You understand? Whether it's grandmothers, mothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, grandfathers, fathers, brothers, right, being murdered and slain in the streets, and they use that opportunity to cry for injustice just to get a check to put a bone in your mouth and shut you up, man. You understand? The scriptures say, make no covenants, make no agreements. Right. Those civil suits, usually what's in it is an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and part of you getting that money, you have to do what? You have to shut your mouth from talking about it, man. You understand? This is why the Lord said, have no compassion, man. Listen, Commander General Yohana is a wise and righteous and just leader, man. We don't advocate any type of violence towards any of the nations that have harmed our people, man. You understand? We're waiting for the judgment of the Lord.
That's right.
But while we're here, we are ordered to keep the peace unless peace is broken. We are not Christians. We definitely believe in self-defense. You understand? But because we're not about going to dealing in physical war, because this is a spiritual war. This is a battle and a war for the minds and hearts of our people, man. You understand? To be able to understand who their enemy is and who their brother is. Right. You understand? Because right now our brothers are our enemies, man. And our enemies have become our brothers. Right. At least that's how we rock. That's how we move as a people. We look at the people that are killing us and murdering us, and we seek to make covenants with them and agreements with them and try to negotiate and work things out and find a common bond and a common ground. But with our own brothers, because he got on red and I got on blue, that's enough of a reason for me to want to kill you and for you to hate me, man.
Right.
You understand? And all we're doing is imitating our oppressor, man. Choosing his ways, man. You know what I'm saying? You might as well call us Democrat, Republican, man. You understand? Oh, go ahead, priest.
If I could real quick, but you bring it out so heavy because, like you said, like the set of colors, you know what I'm saying, to determine that we're enemies. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday I was in a spot and I seen the brothers just throwing up gang signs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just doing like, I'm looking at it like, wow. Man, I thought this was cool back then. Now I look at it like, man, what you really doing? Are you trying to tell your brothers, hey, look out, this is me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a blood. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess with me, type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You try to warn your brothers not to mess with you, but you don't want that white man not to kill your brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, priest, that's heavy. Because we have more courage in the terms of the hatred that we have for each other. Right. But we think courage is showing love to those that murder us and kill us, man. Right. You understand? And taking on their ways. Yeah. That's the bravery that's promoted and put out to our people right now. Right. You understand? But really what it is it's violence, man. Your love for another race is violence against your own people. That's right. You are committing violence against your own people. And if you could in your phone, bro, I need you to bring up the definition of violence in Google. Okay? All right. Once you put up that definition, I just want you to go ahead and read verse 3 again. You understand? Because see, you think you dating that white girl is just, you know, she easier to deal with than the sisters. She don't have a mouth like the Northern Kingdom sisters. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna, you know, throw a pan of hot grits on you. She gonna bring your shoes to you, iron your clothes, and do whatever you say. You feel like, hey, it's just easier. I'm in this hell, so why not have a pillow in hell? You understand? Let me go ahead and get with this white girl that makes it easier. You know what I'm saying? White people have a status in this hell, in this kingdom. So if I get with a white girl, or if you a sister, I get with a white man, hey, then now I got a status. Now it shows that I'm not in hell like everybody else is in hell. That's the cold drink of water in hell, right? But what you don't understand is that you having that mindset, that mentality, it's really you looking back at your people on fire and watching them burn. While you get your little cold glass of water, man. While everybody else is dying for a drip of water on their tongue. Oh, priest, please.
And Salaki, if I may, the thing about it is once you choose, to befriend these other nations, essentially what you're doing is making an enemy of your own nation.
That's right.
You understand? I mean, you can't love, one and then love the other. You know what I'm saying? You're going to love one and hate the other.
Right.
And so, like, if you're going to, love this other nation and want to, insert yourself inside this other nation, again, what you're doing is you are making an enemy of your own nation.
That's right. And you're putting yourself at odds with your own people. You're setting yourself against them, man. Because, like I said, love is war. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain something to you, man. Love is a fight. Man, listen, man. If any of y'all got kids that are past the age, well, shoot, even if they hit 6, me loving my children is warfare, man. Because I have to balance between the affection and the correction. Loving your wife is warfare, man. Because you have to balance between the affection and the correction, man. You understand? Your role as a ruler, but your role as a husband. You understand? Because he gave us the rule over them. When you loving your brother, you understand? You having to, it's war. Because you love your brother, but as men, we gonna bump heads, man. That's why Christ had to enact Matthew 18:15. Because as men, we know we're warriors. So yeah, love is war. Loving your brother when he scuffed your Nike up, your Air Force Ones up in the club, you understand? And you say Salakia. Hey man, Salaki, man, I was in your way, man. Pardon me, man. You have a great night. Hey man, you want a drink? What you drinking on, bro? That Casamigos? You understand? You want some Casamigos, or you don't rock with that?
Right.
So you want that brown? You know what I'm saying? No sweat, man. Hey, let me get you this drink. That's warfare. That's being vigilant. Because it don't take right now we're under the curses, and the eye of our brothers is evil towards their brothers, man.
Right.
So it's warfare to love your brother, man, in this day and age under this hell that we living in, man.
Right.
You understand? But what do? We don't want that warfare. You understand? We want to show our bravery in what? In choosing our oppressor. Yeah, he lynched my people. He raped my great grandmother. He slit her stomach open when she was pregnant, when he hung her and stomped the baby's head in. He fed my cousins to the alligators. But you know what? Love conquers all, man. And you can't defeat hate. The only way you can defeat hate is with love.
Right.
That's a goddamn lie, man. That's the thinking of a fool.
That's right.
You understand? Let me explain something to y'all, man. A lot of black people, a lot of Hispanic people, and Native Indian people, the Lord gave us a great spirit of compassion. And sometimes that the compassion that He gave us we exercise that compassion to a fault, man. Like I said, where your love is directed is very important. We don't exercise that compassion on our own people, but we give it to the murderers and the perpetrators of great crimes against our own nation.
Right.
You understand? This is why the Lord said, show them no mercy, man.
Right.
Because He knew that we were a merciful people.
Damn.
He knew that. But what the Lord is requiring from us at this day and age, man, under the edict and order of Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. He wants that mercy to be shown to each other, man. And for us to be holy and separate from these other nations. Read verse 3. Keep it going. Salakia.
Come. From the start.
Yeah, from verse 3 from the top.
Salakia. Neither shalt thou make.
Hey, hold on, Salakia. If y'all can be quiet in that room, and you as the head, no more yelling. When you know we having class, you can go back in there. Go on. And I don't want to hear y'all again. And no, leave that phone on the desk. Go ahead. Salaki,
Real quick, just before you start reading that, what you was bringing out was heavy, and I just wanted to touch on it because, the thing is, we're not supposed to love our enemies.
Right.
You understand? But in this time right now, the Lord has given us one weapon, to fight against our enemies.
Right.
And that one weapon, like he just said, is to love one another.
Right.
That's how we defeat our enemy, here in this captivity.
Right.
And that is to love each other, like he just brought out, Zephaniah 2:1. Right. Gather yourselves together. We'd be a fool to go, like these other groups, these militia groups, and take up arms, and try to fight the largest military, in the world.
Right.
We'd be a fool, trying to, go against our enemies, on a carnal level.
Right.
All right. So the Most High gave us a weapon. It's just that we choose not to pick up that weapon.
Right.
But once we start to pick up that weapon and use that weapon, and that's to love one another, we will see our enemy defeated. We will see our enemy fall. You understand?
Man, that's heavy, man. No, priest, that's heavy because what you was really leading to is that if you want to be a good sniper, man, you got to be at the range.
Damn right.
You got to be looking through that scope. You got to make sure that your rifle is I forget the word is tuned up properly, that the sights is clear.
Right.
You understand? And right now, man, the scriptures say if the blind lead the blind, both will fall into the ditch. We got to have our vision clear, our sights clear on what our target is, man. Right. And like the priest brought out, man, our target right now is to gather ourselves together as a nation, man.
Right.
And we don't need to include other nations in us restoring ourselves as a people, man.
And real quick, Salaki, you can't go to war if your army is divided.
That's right.
You already lost the fight.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And this devil has done a good job of dividing our army, dividing the nation of Israel.
Damn right.
And again, like the priest just brought out, Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together.
Hey, so get that precept, man, a kingdom divided against itself.
Damn right. And so we need to bring our army back together.
Real talk.
And once we get that army back together again, we'll see this, this enemy fall right before our eyes.
And this is why the Lord is instructing Moses, and Moses is number 2, in terms militarily, Joshua, that when they go into this land, don't make any agreements with them, man. Have no mercy, because at this time, Israel is united as a people. You understand? The 12 tribes, they've all come out from under bondage together. They were all suffering in slavery together, and now they've walked into freedom together. And to preserve that freedom, to keep that liberty, it's going to require warfare. And like the priest just brought out, a heavy point, you understand? We're going to let the scriptures talk. You got that? Go ahead. Go ahead, priest.
Oh, Shalaki.
A kingdom divided against itself. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to maintain that rulership, the only way for us to win and achieve that goal is together.
Right.
You understand? You can't be an individual and win. Not for the big win. You understand?
Okay, I got it.
Most High in Christ.
24. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24.
Right.
And it's from Christ. And if a kingdom be divided against itself,
Right.
the kingdom cannot stand.
Right. This is why America is going to fall. Babylon is going to fall. You have Republicans versus Democrats, independents versus, I don't know, man. You understand? Federalists or whatever these party breakdowns are. You got straight versus homosexual. You got transsexual versus non-binary. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got women versus men. You know what I'm saying? You have all manner of division in America, man. You understand? They invite all these nations in here, and these nations ultimately have allegiances to their own people, man.
Right.
You understand? They're only here for opportunity, man. And I'm gonna be honest, man. An opportunist can't be a good soldier, man. See, because let me tell you something, man. A good brother and a good soldier can't be an opportunist, man. That's why the white man ultimately is going to collapse and fall. His kingdom's going to fall because he's an opportunist.
That's
man.
right.
When he sees an opportunity, he runs right after it, man.
Right.
At the expense of whoever he came up to however he came into the opportunity, at the expense of whoever he came into the opportunity with, he'll slit their throat, man. He'll cut off their feet because he wants to come up. And that spirit has gotten to our people. That's why we don't mind selling each other crack. That's why we don't mind walking down the street with a white woman on our arm and feel like we didn't did something because we got a Becky on our arm.
Right.
But then you mad at Becky when she turned into a Karen.
Right.
You understand? It's all good she on your arm, but then when she walking through the park with her dog and she turned into a Karen on your brother and call the police on your brother and get your brother shot down because she feels, threatened.
Damn.
You loving these other nations is violence against your own people, man.
Right.
And we can get into it deeper, man, but it's really violence against yourself. Let me explain why, man. What was there any more on that? The kingdom.
Let's see. A little bit.
Go ahead. Yeah, finish that.
Verse 25. In a house, like it. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand.
Right. This is why the Lord has the priests and prophets in the Isupk under command General Yohana bringing back the two sticks and making them one.
Right.
Because the house of Israel, you understand, and the house of Judah have to come together and become the house of Israel, man.
Right. That's right.
You understand? Because a house divided cannot stand, man. We can't stand up against the oppression that we up against is because Dominicans don't want to love Haitians.
Right.
You understand? Venezuelans don't care about Guatemalans, man. You understand? Belizeans don't care about Panamanians, man. You know what I'm saying? Mexicans are in different cartel groups. You got the Sonoma cartel and the Cali cartel. They fighting each other, man. MS-13 versus Salakia, the Mexican mafia. You understand? Go ahead, priest.
And let me say this as well too. When it comes, to these, all these Israelite groups, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are dividing the army too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord raised up, One West, Isupk. You understand? And all these other break-off groups, you know what I'm saying? Like, can two walk together unless they be agreed?
Yeah, right.
That's what the scriptures say. The scriptures say, you know what I'm saying, that there be no division among us. That we all teach the same thing.
Good night.
So if that's where the Most High raises this truth up at One West, then this is the home.
That's right.
And that's why Commander General Yohana says all camps, you know what I'm saying, need to come back home.
Right.
Because y'all are also dividing the army. Y'all having unity camps teaching different doctrines. That's not unity. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to point that out as well. We got all these different break-off groups. We got ABC group over here,
right.
DEFG over here, you know what I'm saying? And Commander General Yohana is trying to put this nation back together.
Right.
But everybody wants to go off and do their own thing.
Right.
The Lord didn't ordain that.
Right.
Who gave you authority to go off and start your own thing?
Right. And what's heavy is that, like I say, when you choose to do that, you're choosing another God, man.
Right.
The word God is a lot, right? Right? That means power, authority. You understand? So when you choose to not keep these laws, you're saying that you don't want to serve the Most High.
Right.
But you want to choose a different power. And the only other power in the earth, right? I mean, there's many powers in the earth, but the main power, the scripture said that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The main power is the oppressor, man. Right. The so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You understand? And from there, man, you understand? You fall into different powers, different religions, different political affiliations. Right. You understand? Different relationships, man. Salakia. Yeah. And this is why the Lord gave out this order, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Deuteronomy 7 verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why is the Lord saying this, man? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of you out there saying to yourself, why does the Lord care about who they choose to put in their bedroom? Why does it matter? Because if you read in Exodus 15:3, the scripture said that the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a man of war. A man of war doesn't just mean that he's a man of violence, per se. He can get violent, but he's a God of strategy. He understands warfare at the most critical levels, man. And you know how you shut down warfare? Through marriages. Through marriages. When you have the king of a nation, right? say I was the king of I'm the king of England, and I see France over here building up their army, and they're building up their troops at my border, and I can foresee that maybe I may not lose the war, but the casualties and the resources that I will lose in prosecuting this campaign will be devastating, and it would take me years to recover everything, all the losses that it would take to win this war, right? What's the strategy to shut down France without having to shed blood? I offer my son to marry that king's daughter. What does that create? A blood tie, a blood covenant. Because now once that marriage happens, now they're tied by blood. Now my nation is tied to your nation. Now since my son married your daughter lives now in my kingdom. So why would you go to war when your daughter is over here in my kingdom and she's having children with my son? Marriages stop warfare. You understand? Marriages, back in the day, royal marriages was how they ended wars or prevented wars.
Right.
But if the scripture said that the Lord is a man of war, and he's sending in the children of Israel to go to war with these other nations, then that explains why the Lord is saying, don't make any marriages with them.
Right.
Because when you have, listen man, the children of interracial marriages, they have a natural divided, unless they have the Lord gives them some type of, a deep sense and conviction of the love of their people, or through their experiences in life, they've seen the oppression of their people, and they choose a side 9 times out of 10. If they mama's white and they hear that the white man's the devil, what's going to be their first thought, man? Nah, man, I love my mama. My mama made me pancakes every morning, man. My mama was a good mama. White people ain't all bad. My mama's good. You've already started down the path of justifying their existence and why they're not opposed to you. Because why? That's your mama. And is that wrong? No, it's natural. It's natural. It's natural for a son to love his mother, a daughter to love their father. If even though we know that if a white man gets with a black woman and has a child, that's a white child. But nevertheless, in this current culture, they think if the mama's black, the child is black. That's what's going on with Meghan Markle, right? She's really a white woman. Her mother is black and her father is white, but black women view her as a black woman. It's a black woman in the royal family. No, that's a white woman amongst other white people. You know what I mean? Because they deal with colorism. We deal with the seed of the Father. You understand? That's why we have the truth, man. You understand? If they speak not according to the law and the testimony, there is no light in them. They're in the dark. We have the light. We understand that Bob Marley is not our brother. He's not a West Indian. He's not from the tribe of Benjamin. His father was a white man. His mother was a black woman. You understand? This is why the Lord said, don't make marriages with them. Because why? In these interracial relationships, in fact, we're about to go there, man, in Genesis 6 real quick, man. I'm going to finish reading this Deuteronomy 7, we'll go to Genesis 6. In these relationships, what happens is the reputation of the other nation gets the credit for the salt. Example, Naomi Osaka. If y'all familiar with Naomi Osaka, right? Her father is a Haitian man, a so-called Haitian of the tribe of Levi. You know what I'm saying? The tribe of Levi, man. Mother is Japanese, an Ammonite. When you look in all the articles, when Naomi Osaka is achieving these great victories in tennis at the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, right? Who do they give the credit to? They say the first Japanese Wimbledon winner or winner of the U.S. Open. They try to put down the Haitian side, the tribe of Levi, and diminish that and increase the reputation of what? The Japanese.
They don't even bring up the other side.
Right. Because, in fact, let me go there real quick. Let's go to Genesis 6, y'all. Okay, no sweat. Genesis 6, we're going to start at verse 1. This is why let me tell you something. The Lord the Lord don't change, man. You understand? The things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. There's nothing new under the sun. What happened at what we call the beginning is what's happening now, man. This is why Ecclesiastes is such a powerful book. Because everything is connected. It all moves in a circle. You understand? The times converge, man. The dividing of the times is the merging of the times. Right. You understand? That's why when it talks about Jacob having his hand on Esau's heel, it's not that much. There ain't that much time apart, man. It's the same things going on, man. It's all connected. If you could, priest, the water, sir.
All right, no sweat. The book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them.
Right. So these men, you would think that this is just everybody, all men. But when it said the daughters that were born unto them, these are the men multiplying of the other nations, outside of who the Lord chose. Salakia.
No sweat. Verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair.
Now listen, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. But a common misconception is that when you see sons of God, that you automatically associate that with angels or the Elohim, okay? But Adam was considered a son of God, man.
Right.
The children of Israel are called the children of God.
Right.
You understand? Christ was not the only son of God, man. You can read that in Romans 8, man. You know what I'm saying? Those who are led by the Spirit, those who walk in truth, the truth of the scriptures, are called the sons of God. We've been given that right. Okay? And at this time, this is talking about who the Lord chose, which was Adam and his wife Eve. This was the first couple in the truth. And their children that they produced after them, they were called the sons of God. And Adamites. And everybody else was referred to as the sons or the children of men. You know what I'm saying? The people who were not special. The people who were not chosen. Whom the Lord regarded as nothing. Okay? So I can continue.
Okay. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Right. Now listen, just because the Lord said for us not to deal with these other nations, don't mean that they're not going to be attractive to us, man. He's not saying that they're not going to be appealing. He's saying just don't deal with them.
Right.
As for you sisters out there, you know, I'm going to be real with you, man. And I'm going to keep it moving after I say this. My mother, when I was young, she had a fascination with Sean Connery, man. You understand? And I'm going to be real with you. I wasn't even in the truth as a young person, but I couldn't stand that my mother liked somebody that was a white man, man. It disgusted me. You understand? But to her, you know, he was James Bond. He was a smooth white man. All right? You got some brothers that look at Kim Kardashian, you know what I'm saying? She's Armenian, and they're attracted to her. You saw how Kanye married her, right? Some of our brothers would find her attractive. The Lord ain't saying that you're not going to find them attractive. He's saying that we're not supposed to deal with them. If you keep reading.
Okay. Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Right. His spirit is not always going to strive and contend with man. What's he talking about? He put his spirit in Adam, man, and in Adam's children. What's that spirit? It's the courage, it's the zeal to keep these laws that he gave orally through oral tradition to Adam and his descendants, man. He didn't want to see a battle of the truth between seeing the sons of Adam trying to convince the daughters of men to follow their ways when they've been raised a whole different way. He wasn't going to be striving and contending. He didn't want to negotiate, man. The Lord don't negotiate with terrorists, man. You understand? He didn't want to see that mixing going on. Let me tell you something. The Lord ain't trying to reason with the other nations because he don't care about them.
Right.
He don't want to see his word getting thrown before swine and us trying to convince other nations to get down with us. For all you people out there talking about spreading the gospel to all these nations, these other people, the Lord ain't going to strive with man. He set us up to be the rulers, to be an authority, not to have a shouting match or trying to like debate about it. There ain't no debate. You understand? Keep reading, priest.
God, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Right. You understand? Prior to us dealing with these other nations, you had records of our people living, you know what I mean, 900 years, 800 years, 700 years, 600 years, 500 years. But the moment we started having marriages with their daughters and bearing children, we started to lose our years. Why? Because they had cultures and ways that diminished our life. And we see that, man, in our community. Black men dealing with colon cancer, prostate cancer, getting all types of lung cancers, and we taking on like cigarette smoking, all the things that kill us, that the Lord wants us to keep away from, because we make agreements with them and take on their culture. We bring that into our way of living, and it destroys us, man. And we get reduced. You understand? Any more on that, priest?
I sit on 3.
If you keep going.
No sweat. Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
Giants in the earth, Salaki, if I could. Giants in the earth. Now, I'm not saying that I mean, you're going to see a lot of tall Africans, man. You know what I'm saying? You see Africans now who are like 7 feet, 8 feet. You even see Shaq 7 foot, right? I think they got a Moabite that's like 7, 8 or something like that. I don't remember. But when it's talking about giants right here, it's talking about reputation, right? Like you have giants of industry. Like you just seen when that devil, the one that controls the Virgin Company, Richard Branson, he took a rocket up into space, right? As a civilian, as a private business owner, right? To create a Virgin, I forget what it's called, Virgin Space. He's a giant in industry. And then the next day, which they were marking the anniversary of when the Isupk was formed in 1969, July 20th, when the white man set his nest in the stars, okay? And they said the eagle is landing, okay? They were commemorating the memory of the white man going into space. But ironically, that's when the Lord said, I'm going to bring you down. And that's when the Abomination and the 7 heads and the Isupk was established. That's why we say since 1969. Because since the white man set up his nest up in the stars, that's when the Lord, that's when they what you call that? Salakia, not apocalypse, but they doomsday clock got started. That's when they doomsday clock got started. That's when the sand joint, where I forget what it's called, man. Where the sand pours out, that's when it turned over and their time started to run out, man. That's when it says that the end of the world is Esau and the beginning of that which follows is Jacob. That's when it began, man, 1969, man. And you had Richard Branson, a giant in industry, because he has a music industry, he has a technology industry, you understand? And now he's gone off into flights into space. Jeff Bezos, I believe he's if he's not the richest, the second richest man in the world. On the 2 days after Richard Branson took himself into space and increased his reputation. This is what you would call a giant. In our community, you would have men of renown, Jay-Z, LeBron James, right? Steph Curry, Salakia, just people who we look at as stars. All right, people who have notoriety, man. This is what this is talking about. Are there large and tall men who you can say, oh, he's a giant? Yes, but this is not talking about no 30-foot, 20-foot, Jack and the Beanstalk, man. Okay, the Bible is a practical book. All right, we're not dealing with spookism, man. Okay, Salakia, priest. Keep going.
There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men were of old, men of renown.
Men of renown. Now what's a practical example of that? Bob Marley. His father is a white man, his mother was a black woman, and because we deal with colorism, and we think because we have the same skin that we're kin, he became a man of renown. And that's how a nation who is reputed as nothing can get the recognition of salt or of being special, because we mix our bloodlines with them, and they get credit for it, man. You understand? Even if you want to deal with a brother who is an Israelite. You understand? Drake. He's what you would call a man of renown. His father is an Israelite and his mother is a Caucasian woman. So now guess what? Now Caucasians can say, well, yeah, Drake is great. His mother's white. They get part of that. They get part of that notoriety and reputation. When what the Lord wants is what we see in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, man. And we're about to go back to that right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and read. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me. The Lord wasn't just concerned about the people who he dealt with at that time. He was concerned about their descendants and their children's children, man. The scripture said that the Lord's thoughts go to 1,000 generations, man. The Lord is looking long term, man. He's looking down the long scope, man. He got the long game in mind. You understand? If you want to be great, man, if you want to be mighty and strong, man, then get into these scriptures, man, and get that long vision, man. What we're doing right now in North America, in this hell, the Isupk under Command General Yohana, is not for us right now, man. It's for our children's children, man. The scriptures say that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, man. And the inheritance that we got is the same thing that Abraham gave through Isaac unto Jacob, man. Was that covenant, man, that promise, man. You know what I'm saying? That went unto the seed, not seeds as of many, meaning these other nations, man. But to that one seed, man, Isaac. And Isaac shall thy seed be called. Abraham dealt with an interracial relationship. He slept with Hagar, man, and had Ishmael. When you have relationships with other races outside of your race, you commit violence against your people, man. The scriptures say that when he had Ishmael, said Ishmael was going to be a wild man, that his hand will be at everybody's neck. The Arabs ain't got enough for us now. You understand? You commit violence against your own people. That's why the Lord had to separate Ishmael from Isaac, man. When Sarah came to him and was like, yo, you got to get rid of this mother and her boy. He ain't going to share the same inheritance with my son. Abraham was like, I ain't finna get rid of my son. Yo, he's a father. He's like, I ain't finna get rid of Ishmael. What you mean? The Lord told him, he said, yo, man, take heed to the voice of your wife and send him away. She's right. He's not going to share in that inheritance. Why? Because Ishmael would have tried to do the same thing that Esau did, man. Kill his brother, man, had he been around. He would have set up, Abraham was setting up violence against his own chosen son, man. Because when you have relationships outside of your race, you commit violence against your people. And let me, while I'm on that subject, let me give you another example of that, man. In order for you to hold the hand of a white woman or hold the hand of a white man in public and walk down the street with them in a loving relationship, what's the first violent act that you have to commit? It's against your own self. It's against your memory, man. You have to kill the memory of your people being lynched, your people being raped, your people being buck broken, your people being put in chains and on slavery, working from sun up to sundown, right? Your people being sold to different plantations, your people being shot down in the street, your aunts and mothers being raped. You have to kill those memories in order to show love and be in love with the person outside of your race, especially a goddamn devil, man. You have to exercise violence against your own mind in order to walk with your head up and be with them in public, man. And then what do you have to do? Because you know your people are going to be looking funny, like, what's he doing with her? What's she doing with him? You have to have in your mind, you know what? I'm going to stand up and be brave and have courage against my own people and against their racism. Because I'm not going to be racist like them. Yeah, racism was done to us, but I'm going to kill racism by loving the person and the people who are racist against me. You know how sick that is? And let me tell you something else, man. Black people can't be racist. And no, it's not because we ain't got the power. That's true. But black people can't be racist because we don't love each other enough to be racist. If you're a violinist, that means that you're what? You're proficient and studied in playing the violin, right? If you're a pianist, what does that mean? that you're proficient and studied in playing the piano. If you're a racist, that means that you are proficient and studied in your race, in your people, man. We don't love each other enough to be racist. We don't care about each other enough to be racist, man. You're not brave and strong for holding hands with a white woman and walking down the street in front of your own people. What you're showing is that you're a coward and a traitor, man. You've already chosen a side. You understand? When it comes down to it, and it's so deep, man, because y'all may not know this, man, but there was a movie, man. I don't know, Kahan, if you remember the movie, but that came out recently. But it was about a father with his son, and the police officer killed his son, and him and some other brothers who were tired of the violence went and took over the precinct.
I ain't familiar with that one.
Okay. The actor, both actors in this movie, the two main actors, right? Y'all may know him. They call him Ghost on Power. I don't know his name. Okay.
Something Hardwick.
Yeah, Hardwick, right? Omari Hardwick, and the brother who did the movie. It was about Nat Turner. It was named after the movie that was done, Birth of a Nation. Both these men are married to white women. And Omari Hardwick's wife, I think she could be a transsexual. The jawline is like Stallone. Adrian! It's a strong jawline, man. Okay? And the chest is flat. I mean, they ironing boards anyway, but she got the whole, you know what I'm saying, like been in the Marines, could have had a, you know what I mean, a procedure done. All right? But both of these men are married to white women. And I was wondering to my, what's going on? Ace, hey, we got class, come on, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. Salakia. Both of these men participated, made movies championing the cause of our people, right? Like the revolution and the plight of black people. Do you know why? Because they know deep down inside they're betraying their people by being married to these other nations. They feel like they can balance the scales by making a movie about how black people should be gathered together as a nation not desired, how we should be united and fighting against oppression. But in their real life, behind closed doors, they're sleeping with the enemy. And they know that they're an enemy to their own people, so they have to put out a production and market that they love their people. Because why? They're committing violence against their own conscience. And the only way to appease their conscience is by trying to make a movie about black folks rising up and fighting against their oppressor. When you have interracial relationships, you commit violence against your own people, man. Let me give you another example. Let's go to I need to get to Solomon, okay? I'm gonna show you, man. I'm gonna show y'all. When you not just with this other nation, well, it could be a black person, because a lot of you sisters out there is trying to deal with these Africans, because you know the Africans got some money. You're trying to choose the Nigerians and all that. I be seeing on Clubhouse little rooms about how to get an African man, a Nigerian man. It's the same way how y'all got the rooms about how to get a white man. You understand? You feel like my relationship is my relationship. This ain't got nothing to do with anybody else. It's just love is love. You can't control who you love. No, the scriptures say you have to control who you love if you were so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. Okay? I believe that's in Kings, man. Let me get that real quick. Salakia. You know what I'm saying? With King Solomon, man. King Solomon, dealing with these other nations, caused him to commit violence against his own people. You understand? Right? Let's see, real quick. Salakia. I need to get to where it said first. I need to get where he built the temples for his wives. Here we go. Salakia. All right. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1. You understand? Let's see how he committed violence against his people, man. Through his love for other nations. Him having interracial relationships and marriages with other nations. Let's see how he committed violence. Go ahead.
1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1. But Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
You see that? It said that he had the daughter of Pharaoh, an African. It said the women of the Moabites, the Chinese. He had the Ammonites, the Japanese, Edomites. Solomon was sleeping with white women, dogs. Okay? Zidonians, Africans, Hittites, other Africans, man. He had the rainbow sherbet, man. It was Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors, man. He wanted, you scream, we scream, we all love ice cream. He wanted it all. Okay? So like you keep reading.
Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them.
Good night.
Neither shall they come in unto you.
Right.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods.
Right. The Lord knows that by you dealing with the woman, because see, man, let me tell you something, man. When you dealing with the woman, you know what I'm saying, and she becomes your woman, you know what I'm saying, you getting that due benevolence. That's those intimate moments. Sometimes, man, some men will say anything in the moments, man. They willing to come out their pocket. They willing to say anything. You know, oh, baby, you know, I love you. You're the only one for me. You say anything in that moment, man. And in that moment of vulnerability, you know, in that moment of time fire, you know, shoot, the heathen king, when he saw Esther, he didn't even have to lay with her. He was like, I'll give you up to half the kingdom. Some of these women, man, you know, they putting it down in a way to where you trying to give up the house, the car, anything. What do you want? You can have it. You understand? Especially our sisters. But see, when you're dealing with these other nations, man, some of these other women, these other nations, y'all already know how they get down, man. I won't even get into all that. But in those moments of vulnerability for a man, because that's usually when a man is the most vulnerable, is in that moment. You know, that's when they put these requests in. You know what I'm saying? Solomon, listen, he laid out. Good night. I ain't know Edom got down like that. Them the tricks you doing? Oh, okay. All right. Good night. You just lay up and just, you know, try to recover for a second. Salakia, or whatever, or baby, listen, I worship the God Nimrod, and listen, I know you got the God of Israel, you got your sacrifices and all that, but I miss home, you know, and really I would like to have a taste of home. I'm not going to leave you, I'm not going nowhere, but can you just build me a temple for me and my sisters, you know what I'm saying, to go and chill with and do our thing? I get you do what you do, but just let me do me. This is how they spoke. This is how all these women of these other nations spoke to Solomon, man. And in his old age, he started to lose his sense, his memory. He killed off his duty to the law and let these women dictate, you know what I'm saying, what he was going to do going forward as a ruler, man. All right? Is some more on that? I think verse 3.
Verse 3. Salakia. The end of verse 2. Solomon clave unto these in love.
Damn, he clung to them. Y'all know what that is. When it's Netflix and chill, you with your woman, man, and you just got to eat an excellent meal, you all up under her, man. You understand? You just, you know, she all into the movie, you all up into, you know what I'm saying? You cleaving. He clung onto him in love, man. He became a sucker for love.
Right.
You understand? He lost that authority, man. He became a sucker for love. Verse 4.
Verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart.
Let me tell you something, man. You know, having multiple wives is lawful. But like as the scriptures say, all things that are lawful are not necessarily expedient, man. Right. You understand? When you having to manage that number of women, you probably forget your comings and your goings, man. You coming into the house, and where was I going? Hey, Solomon. Oh, what's up, baby? Oh, okay. Oh, what's I about to do? Hey, Solomon. Oh, okay. What's up, baby? You haven't your attention is off of the service of the Lord, and now it's on serving these women and they wants and they needs, man. And these women are not subject to the laws of God, and neither can they be. You understand? Let's keep reading.
God. Verse 4, for it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord, his God, as was the heart of David, his father.
Keep going.
Verse 5, for Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians.
So he went and pursued the goddess of the Africans. Keep reading. All that Egyptology y'all be into now. Talking about the black woman is God. That ain't new. You know what I'm saying? All you Egyptologists and you know what I mean, you effeminate homosexuals trying to lift up the black woman to a level of God status. That's not your culture, black man. Hispanic man, Native Indian man. That's not your culture. Salaki, priest.
No, no sweat. And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites.
So he went after them Japanese guys. You know what I'm saying? Whoever the Japanese worship. Right?
Verse 6, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father.
He didn't take on his father's example. That's a horrible thing, that when your father sets forth a righteous example, you know what I'm saying, and gives you the blueprint, and you take that blueprint and you crumble it up like a bad report card that you don't want your parents to see, and you throw it in the trash, man, and do your own thing. That's a very dishonorable thing, man. Salaki.
No sweat. Verse 7, then did Solomon build an high place for Camash.
Because this is the thing, man. Like the title say, when you choose to marry outside of your race, you end up choosing to serve another God. It's inevitable. This is why the Lord warned us in Deuteronomy 7, man. And then when you choose to serve another God, you choose to do violence to your own people. And we're about to find out.
The abomination of Moab in the hill that is before Jerusalem.
Good night.
And for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
And we know with Molech, that was dealing with sacrificing babies and throwing them into the fire. You understand? Letting the children pass through the fire. Having kids walk through a fire or whatnot, man, and burning them alive, man, as an offering and a sacrifice unto Molech, man. He got into basically killing children, abortion. The wisest man to ever live, man, at that time. The Lord said there was no man on earth wiser than him. And he basically was setting up Planned Parenthood clinics in his own city, in his own nation. This is what happens when you make agreements and covenants and marriages with these other nations, man. You commit violence against your own people. Keep going.
Verse 8, and likewise did he for all his strange wives.
He set up temples and places of worship for all of his strange wives. This is heavy, man. Okay? In verse 9, then we're going to move on.
Which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. Verse 9, and the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned away from the Lord, God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice.
Right. So now we're going to see, that Solomon has chosen women of another nation to be in an interracial relationship, right? And this is the very thing that caused God to flood the earth, man. Because the Lord don't like mingling. He don't like that. He don't like he likes what's holy. He likes the clean from the unclean. He likes the righteous from the wicked. He likes the just from the unjust. He likes things to be separate. Why? Because when it's separate, man, you can see clearly. You can know who's who, what's what. You know what I mean? It's organized, it's clean, it's in decency and in order, man. He's not a God of confusion. The Lord is not a God of power of confusion. He wants things to be very clear. I set before you this day life and death, blessings and cursings. What do you call it when you try to merge the two? A lot of you Christians, you take the curses that are on you take it for blessings. And the blessings you take for cursing. What do I mean by that? You see the men of the Lord out there at camp teaching these scriptures on the corner, and you see our enemies, the oppressors, bow down of any nation outside of the nation of Israel and kiss our boots, which is a blessing from the Lord. It shows that the Lord is with us. It's the Lord confirming that he's with these priests and prophets, and you say it's a curse. Y'all taking on this honor unto yourselves. Who are you to have them bow down to you? It's deep how black people will take us to account for a boot kiss, but then you can forget what happened to your forefathers, the lynchings and the rapings and the massacres, Rosewood, Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Seneca Village. You can forget all that and go and lay in the bed and sleep with that man or sleep with that woman, but a boot kiss is what's so highly offensive. The Lord's going to deal with y'all, man. Y'all are hypocrites, man. You don't have any honor, man. You don't have any love for your people. And it's because once you choose to be with another nation, you forfeit your loyalty to your people, man, and to your power. You understand? And you commit violence against your people. How? Let me ask you a question, man. If you walk by and you see somebody getting assaulted, right? Or you walk by and you see somebody injured and you choose to not give aid to that person, do you know that you can be tried with the crime for that? They'll say that you are party to them dying and their murder because you didn't provide aid to them in the moment of them being in distress or being ready to die. Right? If you stand by and you watch somebody being stomped out in the crowd, you could be charged with the crime because you were party and parcel to that situation, man. If you're in a vehicle with somebody and they have a pistol, you can be charged as a what's it called? An accessory, right? You being in an interracial relationship when acts of war are committed against our people, because listen, when blacks do harm to other blacks, because a lot of you coons in there in the audience may be saying, well, what about black on black crime? That's exactly what it is. It's a crime, and it should be dealt with as a crime through the law amongst ourselves as a nation. But when these other nations commit acts of violence against us, it's an act of war. Because it's a nation against another nation. And that's the confusion that y'all have. Because you identify yourself, a lot of y'all are having an identity crisis. You identify yourself as an American. Oh, we're all Americans. We're all the same nation. No, we're not. That's not how the Lord looks at it. The Lord said that there's 18 nations, man. You understand? And the nation of Israel is a nation unto itself, man. And his people, man. You understand? But like I was saying, you choosing to be with another nation, you end up turning on your own people. So when you see something happening to your people, what do you have to do? You got to turn a blind eye. You got to look away. That's violence. If you're not crying for justice for your people, you're committing violence against your people, man. You're basically saying, let the violence continue. You're not standing up for nothing. You're falling for everything. Doing nothing is doing something. Saying nothing is saying something. Okay? But let's keep reading, man. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 12. Okay? At this time, because Solomon did what he did, the Lord chose to split up the kingdom, man. That was violence. Solomon's disobedience set the northern kingdom against the southern kingdom, man. That caused violence and a break in brotherhood, man. The staff of brotherhood was broken based on Solomon's decision to deal with other nations, man. What you do has a long-term effect. You're not an individual like. You may think you are, but what you're doing has an effect on your entire nation. The scriptures say that one sinner destroys much good. And the only good thing for us to be doing right now is coming together as a people, man. You understand? But I'm going to go ahead and read this, man. So at this time, Rehoboam, Solomon's son, has come into power. Okay? And the people who were under Solomon, you know what I'm saying, are coming to Rehoboam because now there's a change in regime, and they're asking for, under this administration, they want some new policies, some new labor policies. And we're about to get into it. Alright? Chapter 12, start at verse 1.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 12, verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel would come to Shechem to make him king.
Right, he's about to get, what they call that when the president get, I forget what it's called. Thank you, sis. Inaugurated. This is his inauguration. Ate the water, sis.
Verse 2. And it came to pass, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt. Verse 3, that they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, verse 4, thy father made our yoke grievous.
What? Read it. No, your father made our yoke light. Christ said, come follow me. I'm meek, and my yoke is light. That yoke is rulership. When you're under the authority of a man above you, and he gives you an order, you're under his yoke. You're under his authority, his instruction. You have to follow his orders. Christ saying, hey man, what I'm giving you, this ain't heavy. It's light. But the people who are coming to Rehoboam are saying, yo, your father made our yoke heavy. How? How did he make the yoke heavy? If you say, oh, well, Solomon made the yoke heavy because they had to get all the materials and pay for the temple. I can show you in the scriptures where David had already prepared up to $1 billion in today's money in preparation for that temple. And on top of that, when Solomon became king, because David had subjugated these other countries, they had paid tribute unto Solomon even more. And then because he was a wise man, he was doing business deals with these other countries and trade. So, and you know when the Lord do something, man, I'm not saying that there's not no effort involved, but it's no sweat. It's no sweat. We know that David couldn't build the temple because he had been a man of war, man. He had blood on his hands in fighting other nations and then fighting his own people. The house of Saul versus the house of David, man. He had put many niggas in the Salakia. He had put many men in the dirt at his orders and by his hand. So he didn't want to build the temple because he had bloody hands. So he passed it on to Solomon. But what he also passed on to Solomon was major resources. So the temple was financed. The Lord's house was financed. What is this heavy yoke of bondage? We just read it. We just read it earlier. Salakia. It said that, and then did Solomon, verse 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 7. I mean Salakia, verse 7. Then did Solomon build a high place of Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. Verse 8. And likewise did he for all his strange wives. He put a tax on the children of Israel and put them under forced labor to build up the abominations of these other nations, man. He committed violence against his own people, man. He put them under that heavy yoke, man. To the point where when he passed away, they come to his son and say, yo, man, your father put a heavy yoke on us. What does the scripture say about when your people are servants under you? It says, do not rule over your own brother with rigor. Right. You can hire blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians as your employees. There's nothing wrong with that. You can give them orders and instructions to work and do the job, right? But you have to treat them justly. You can't have them doing 16 hours and not pay them overtime. You can't have them work on the Sabbath. You understand? You have to treat them fairly, man. Pay them the day of. When they finish that day's work, pay them their wage. Right? That's the law. Now with the heathen, shoot, man, you can work 20 hours and no overtime. And I may dock your pay if you ain't putting that hit your I forget what it's called.
Quota.
Your quota. So the water, priest. If you ain't hit your quota, I may dock your pay. We can rule over the heathens with rigor, but not our brother. Because that's violence against our brother, man. But because Solomon broke the covenant of the Lord and made an agreement with these other nations and took them on as wives, he turned the violence or the rigor he should have had for these other nations that were not his own people, he turned that against his own brothers, his own people, man. Let's keep reading, man. Salakia, you was in verse 12? Verse 4, Salakia, chapter 12, verse 4, yeah.
Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee.
Jeroboam and the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, came to Rehoboam and was like, listen, man, your father had us under grievous service. What does the scripture say? That his laws are not grievous. Solomon wasn't keeping the law. When you don't keep the law, you grieve your brother, man. You grieve your people. You end up becoming an oppressor. You choose to become an oppressor over your people, man. Because we know that the laws of the Lord are not grievous. The scriptures say that when the righteous are in rulership or in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in rule, the people mourn. And right here you see the children of Israel in mourning because of Solomon having love for a white woman, having love for a Chinese woman, having love for an African woman. You understand? Having love for a Japanese woman and serving their gods, man. You choosing to marry outside of your race, you're choosing another God, and guess what? You're choosing to hate your own people, man, and show them violence. And violence towards yourself, man. You understand? And then, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's see what Rehoboam says, and we're going to find out why Rehoboam said what he said. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. Verse 6. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, how do ye advise that I may answer this people?
Right.
Verse 7. And they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them.
That's heavy, Salakia. They said, if you will be a servant unto this people, when you're dealing with these other nations, you're not worried about serving your people. You're not worried about going visiting the prisons, going into the poor communities and serving your people. You're worried about serving yourself. Solomon served his own lusts and desires and served the desires of these foreign women, man. These white women, Chinese women, African women, man. You understand? That's why our leaders right now, that's why we can't accomplish anything, man, because we're trying to make agreements with these other nations. When you have a covenant with another nation, you can't serve your people. You can only serve yourself. So these wise men are coming to Solomon saying, hey, man, if you want to serve your people, if you want to serve them and be a true ruler, because why? Christ said the greatest amongst you shall be what? A servant. If you want to be chief amongst your brethren, then serve your people, man. Show brotherhood. But you can't show brotherhood when you're loving who's not your brother. Right? So like it, priest.
No sweat. And answer them and speak good words to them, that they will be thy servants forever.
That's the secret. You know why we serve Christ? Because Christ served us, man. Staunchly, stiffly, unflinchingly, man. He gave his life for us. So because of his life of service, now we serve. We learn to serve, and we try to perfect our service, man. Which is raising up the 12 tribes into their true culture and identity, and coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. You understand? But we can't do that dealing with these other nations. And I'm going to show you that. Ezra 4, and then we're going to be up out of here. And yo, tawada to everybody in the class, you know what I'm saying, that's watching. Ezra chapter 4. Get there. You know what I mean? We're going to get up out of here, man. You can't build up your people and build up a nation, you understand, serving or in loving other people, man. Other races. You understand? Let me start at verse 1.
The book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord God of Israel. Verse 2. Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you.
They look. This is like Black Lives Matter. This is like George Soros wanting to give to set up a trust fund for Black Lives Matter, man. Let us help you with your cause. You know what I'm saying? We down with your cause. We down what you down with. We see that what you're going through. Let us help you. You can't do this by yourself. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get the civil rights legislation passed by ourselves. It took what was that president's name, man? After Nixon, whatever. You know what I mean? When the president who Martin Luther King was sitting with when he signed off on the civil rights bill, right? We had to have the white man's help to pass legislation to give us more rights. Good night. Let's keep reading.
For we seek your God, as ye do.
Yeah, we Christians. We Christians like you. We believe in God too. We believe in Jesus. Yeah, the Ku Klux Klan was Christians. Nazi Germans, they were Christians. The Spaniards who came and murdered the Native Indian were Christians, man. The people who slaughtered 70 million Native Americans and Mexicans were Christian. We serve the same God. Let us help. Go ahead.
And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Sardan.
We go to church and pay tithes. We pay tithes to Joel Osteen too, man. Right? Keep reading.
Sardan, king of Assur, which brought us up hither. Verse 3. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them,
These were wise men. These were true leaders. These were men who were trying to establish the gates. You understand? Because when you have a gate with no breaches, the enemy can't get through. The scriptures say that a man that has no rule over his spirit is like a city broken down without walls, man. The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets, man. We have, like the brother brought out, it's one Lord, one baptism, and one spirit, man. And to be in the spirit, to have the zeal of the Lord, is to keep his laws. And if you're keeping his laws, you on the walls. You a watchman. You watching. You making sure there's no breach. Like Captain Akai say, he ain't one of us, he a breach. You are a hole in the ship. You're a loose lip. Okay? You a 6'9".
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? You a Frank Lucas, man. You a Alpo. You understand? Salakia.
And the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our God.
No. You can come and help. We need all the help we can get. Listen, man, all hands on deck. Listen, man, this is a rainbow coalition. We need everybody. You know what I'm saying? These white folks got a good heart, man. Let them in. They not like them over there. These Africans, they don't all call us a kata. Listen, amongst Africans, we know that's a small percentage. That doesn't represent the whole of all Africans. They don't all call y'all a kata. A kata don't mean cotton picker. This means a wild pack of dogs with no culture, and they just do anything. But that's what we just say over here. But when we say it, we just really mean a black American. We're not trying to be derogatory towards you. They're not all like that. All Chinese folks don't hate black people. We just, they just put some of their stores in there. They serve good food, man. General Tso's chicken. You eat there all the time. You love Japanese sushi. You love getting your feet and your nails done in the Vietnamese shops. I mean, when you go into the shop, they're playing your music. They're using your slang. Oh, how's it going, homie? How you doing? Sit down, girl. What you want? What you need? You want the Meg Thee Stallion, the Cardi B? We got the new style. Give me high five, yeah. You want to see Johnny Dang? Oh yeah, icy boys, yeah. Give me your check, yeah. I'm down too. I'm a nigga too. Clowns. It's entertainment to you. Some of y'all see a white man. I seen a video passing around Kahan. It was this white man. He must have been like in Memphis, Tennessee, or Atlanta, and like they had him he had like some grams in his hand of the green. He was like, man, fuck with some bitch, give me this shit. Don't come in with this shit, right, man? Fuck with this shit. That shit went viral because you had he ain't really a white man. He got the soul of a brother inside of him. We are so easily entertained with them trying to imitate and mock us that we let our defenses down. We let our guard down. But these men in the scriptures, these men in Ezra, Zerubbabel, the chiefs and the elders, these were the men in the Isupk, man. Like Captain Tazariak, man, at the picnic when that young African boy came up and they were having a good conversation. But once Captain Tazariak saw that he was an African, You can't come to the cookout. I mean, we were just talking, everything was cool. I mean, I can't get a hot dog, I can't get a burger. No, you can't. This is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. What do you have to do with us? And they condemned Captain Tazariak because he was a child. See, that's why an effeminate man can't inherit the kingdom, man. Because you got to hold down these laws no matter what. Show them no mercy. Have no compassion, man.
And just to touch on that real quick, what was heavy about that is that same African boy was asked by Cap, you know, if our people had did that to his people, what would he do? And he said that he would do the same thing that Captain Tazariak did.
Man, that's heavy.
And that was a little boy who understood, you know what I'm saying? If you have, right, he understood how things work. If you are an enemy to my nation, I don't have any love for you.
Right.
It's not my job to feed you. You're my enemy.
Damn right.
It's a lot.
Most High in Christ. Is there any more on that? Start from the top, man. We're gonna get about yeah.
But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us,
right,
to build an house unto our God. But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel.
But we who? But
we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel.
This is the Isupk in the scriptures, man. You understand? Ain't nothing new under the sun. This is the Isupk in the scriptures. We ourselves together, not no other nations. Keep reading, priest.
As King Cyrus, the king of Persia, hath commanded us.
Right.
Verse 4. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah.
Right. When Salaki, priest, pardon me. When we decided to band together, the people who claim to help and have that helping hand, that reaching hand, like the people who go to Haiti to set up the charities, you find out when you let them in, they're on yachts and buying Lamborghinis and mansions back home, taking all that money and instead of helping the Haitians, they're stealing that money and benefiting and living it up. You see these missionaries going to Haiti, taking the boys and setting up missionary schools and they're raping the boys. And the Haitian people are still suffering right now, eating mud cakes, man, for food. Their bodies have I don't want to use the word evolved, but have grown over a period of time to be able to digest dirt as food, to survive, man. Look it up on YouTube in Haiti, eating dirt cakes, man, mud cakes. That's how serious the poverty is in Haiti. But all these charities, man, that want to go into where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are, and what happens when they offer to help? Nothing happens, man. And then when we refuse to help, what do they want to do? Infiltrate and do subterfuge and sabotage our movement, man. But you can't do that in the Isupk under command of Yohana, man, because this movement is backed up by Christ and the angels, man. You understand? This ain't the Black Panthers. This ain't the NOI. This ain't the NFAC walking around with assault rifles. Ain't nobody trained. You understand? This ain't Black Lives Matter, man. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana, man. The men and priests of the Lord, man. The prophets of the Most High, man. You understand? And we're going to do what our forefathers did, man. What the prophets before us did, man. We're going to build this thing up by ourselves, man. This is for us and by us, man. You understand? And if you ain't with that, you're not with the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Salaki, priest.
Salaki, if I may, verse 1 told you that these were adversaries against Judah, you know what I'm saying, in Jerusalem.
Right.
They had no intentions on helping us build, this temple. The only thing they wanted to do is try to make it easier, you know what I'm saying, and try to trouble us from the inside.
Right.
But because those, those men did not let them in the inside, now they had to go to plan B and trouble us from the outside. And that, like he said earlier, there's no new thing under the sun.
Right.
We want to try to integrate with them, and now it's easy for them to destroy us.
Right.
Instead of us being alone and doing everything by ourselves.
Right.
There is no new thing under the sun. None of these nations give a damn about us.
Right.
All these nations seek to destroy us, whether they do it from the inside or whether they do it from the outside. But their job is to destroy the nation of Israel.
And like the priest said, man, they doing crafty counsel. If we could read 5 and 6, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you the Isupk in the scriptures. Where's the Isupk in the Bible? I'm about to show you.
Verse 5, and hired counselors against them.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, calling the Isupk a hate group. Counselors, these are lawyers. When you go to court, a defense lawyer, they say, hey, we need to have counsel. Come bring counsel to the bench. They're counselors, man. They counsel their defendants. The prosecutor counsels amongst themselves to prosecute. These are lawyers that are comprised of the Southern Poverty Law Center, man. And they hire counselors. Go ahead.
All the days of Cyrus, king of Persia,
right,
even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia.
Right, from administration to administration, since 1969, you've had counselors trying to frustrate the movement of the Isupk, man. It says to frustrate their purpose, man. And what is our purpose, man? But to educate and teach and restore the culture and identity of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who are the true people of God, the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You understand? God's chosen people, man. You understand? So, basically, at the end of the day, we have to do what the Lord says, man. You understand? There is no wisdom. You know what I'm saying? There is no knowledge. There is no counsel against the Lord. You understand? What the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, man. And it would behoove us to take heed to what we have seen in history. These are our records. You understand? These are our records, man. And they're here for a purpose, man. So us, in this present day and age, can remember what happened before and avoid those mistakes, man. We have to, listen, man, we have to end of this thing, man. This is our last opportunity to get it right and be a part of this final transition, man. A kingdom that's going to last forever. Let me get this last scripture, man. Daniel, go ahead, priest, while I get the scripture.
And real quick, I'm going to just point out how wicked, this damn devil is. The Southern Poverty Law Center. We talk about the crimes and the hate that were committed against the nation of Israel.
Damn right.
And we're labeled a hate group. But the ones who committed the crimes and committed the hateful acts against the children of Israel are not labeled, by the Southern Southern Poverty Law Center. So right. If that ain't wicked, I don't know what is. You're going to demonize the ones that are talking about the actions of the ones who actually committed the crimes.
Because they hold themselves not guilty.
Because they hold themselves not guilty.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to read this last precept and then, we're going to get up out of here. All right? This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 44. And in the days of these kings, in the days of Vladimir Putin, in the days of Donald Trump, in the days of Joe Biden, trying to bide his time until, he croaked. Salakia, you know what I'm saying? In the days of Kamala Harris, man. In the days of these kings, the God of heaven set up a kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is being set up right now, man. You're looking at some of the builders right here, right in front of your eyes, man. You understand? Under command General Yohana, who is under Christ, man, the Isupk, man. All right, which shall never be destroyed, man. This kingdom that is being set up ain't gonna be no more shits. At one time, Russia was a superpower. At one time, Japan was a superpower. At one time, China was a superpower under Genghis Khan. You understand? At one time, you had the Byzantine Empire. You had the Ottoman Empire. You had the Babylonian Empire. You know Daniel's vision, right? Of the statue with the gold and with all the precious metals all the way down to the Stone Age. You understand? Now we in the Stone Age, man. Now we up here with the Edomites, man, who love the rocks, man, who love the dens and the caves, man. We in the mirror clay now, man. We at the end of this thing. We in the 10 toes, man. And when you in the 10 toes, if you a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you need to stand stiffly, 10 toes down, man, until these 10 toes collapse and fall off, man. You understand? These 10 toes got gangrene, man. They got gout, man. This thing is over with, man. If you siding with these other nations, man, the scriptures say, if you be found with them, you're going to be thrust through. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, man.
Yeah, right.
You understand? This thing is coming to an end, man. But it's the beginning for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who have come back to their culture and their identity, man. And part of that is, man, is you choosing where you direct your love, man, because love is war. And your warfare needs to have a direction, man. But for your warfare to have a direction, you gotta have a head, man. You can't have a body without a head, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Ichabod Crane. You understand? This ain't the headless horseman, man. You understand? We are a body fitted together, man. Fitly put together. Under Christ, under authority, man. If you don't want to follow orders, then you don't want to be part of an army. You know what I'm saying? All you good for is being a traitor, man.
Right. But
with that, I'm going to pass the class to myself. Salakia, I don't see the security announcements. Salakia, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and read these security announcements and get up out of here. I also want to say, you know what I'm saying, if you heard anything in this class, you know what I'm saying, that struck a chord with you, it resonated with you, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and go onto this page, Isupk Kaleen, and like the page, man, and follow, man. We have class every Tuesday and Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tuesday is Brotherhood class, and Wednesday is the law class, man. You understand? If you have any questions, you know what I'm saying, put them into the chat. You know what I mean? You can message Isupk Kaleen with your questions. And you know, call that number up if you feel like you want to you know what I'm saying, be a part of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, call that number up, man. This is the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Our salvation is at hand. The kingdom is at hand, man. You understand? This is the time to get in. You know what I'm saying? Do your service unto the Lord, man. Okay? Salakia.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it.
Right.
After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upholy convocation. What we got coming up?
Salakia, sir, it's the Feast of Trumpets. September 17th, I believe. Salakia.
The Feast of Trumpets, September 17th. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. And these are the security announcements.
Hey, with that, I'm gonna give a courtesy salute to the Hakim. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shabbat, and then also a courtesy salute to the sisters, Yahweh Shemal Latham Ba'Shem Yahushai. Hey man, listen, y'all who are, you know what I'm saying, in the school, if you are interested in coming to the school, keep enduring, keep fighting your demons. You understand? If you're having an issue of any sort, all right, seek counsel. Okay? If you're having an issue with a brother or sister, Matthew 18:15, that brother or sister. And if you can't come to terms, you know what I mean, seek counsel, man. This is a time for counsel. This is not a time for making decisions on your own, independent of God's authority. You understand? Go to the true priests and prophets of the Lord, which are in the ISUPK, under Command General Yohana, and get the understanding, man. You understand? And with that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to go ahead and close out. Hey, Shalom, Israel.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. You got to shoot that 60 frames per second. Come on,
I'm on my way up. about to hit the bitch with the slow. It ain't rap, it's a slow.